Okay, I think I'm live. Okay. This is a better place. Okay, so this video, basically, I'm from Ohio, and what I'm gonna do is do a review from Ohio versus Virginia. Number one, apartments. Apartments. This is a review, my personal view and opinion. It's not right, of Ohio versus Virginia, and I'm talking about the DMV area, which is like the inner Nova area. People call the DMV area for Detroit, Maryland, and Virginia, and I'm in the Northern Virginia, close to the capital area. So I moved here, relocated in January, and my review over this whole place is like crazy. So coming from Ohio/Florida, Ohio to me, my analogy of this whole thing is like Ohio is District 12 or 13 in Hunger Games, and the capital is the capital in freaking Hunger Games. So if you ever watch Hunger Games, they have the capital where the people from the districts, they fight, they go to the district and they go to the capital, and the capital is like uppity and phenomenal and luxurious. That's DC. DC, the cost of living is 136% higher. My mom told me it was expensive. I didn't believe her till I got here how expensive it is. What I can get for a 3-bedroom apartment here, I could get a 5-bedroom, large, elaborate house in Ohio. Like I can technically get a mansion for the payment. It's crazy expensive, and I was shocked. And we're still in Virginia, and it still is the South, upper South, technically. So the weather is warmer than Ohio, so there's less snow. But when it does snow, the whole thing shuts down. We're already shut down because of the coronavirus, right? But when it does snow, the streets, everything shuts down because people don't know how to drive. And let me tell you, with housing, we're going to go back to housing. Housing, it is crazy to find affordable housing. And then housing that is actually close to your job. Now we're going to traffic. So my job's in Tysons, right? And so I had to drive there, and it took me like an hour, maybe every day. Mind you, it is 8 miles away. The traffic here is it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. And if you make the wrong turn, you will be in traffic for 2 hours. 2-hour traffic for 8 miles. And please, you have to pray, please don't let there be an accident, because that could be 2 hours and a half. I made the wrong turn multiple times, and I was in traffic for an hour and 45 minutes. And I'm like, my exit, I just missed one exit. It took me a month, where my colleagues at work that have been here, they know the community, they know everything about the DMV area. I'm in the inner belt, so I can take the trains and stuff like that to DC. Well, they know the whole traffic, the inner belt, everything about DC, where I don't know anything about it. I had no idea about the traffic. I had no idea about the cost of living. I had no idea about the tolls. Going back into traffic. And traffic in DC, oh, horrible. And people pay money for this. It's called like this express lane, right? And this express lane allows you to go faster, and there's like faster than everybody else. You're not in traffic. I can't remember what it's called. It's the express lane. I haven't been to work like in 30 days, physically into work, because of the traffic. Because of the coronavirus. So this express lane, you take it, and people are paying like $51 a day to get to work fast. It's phenomenal. Like in Ohio Turnpike, I pay like $3, $5. On my way here, most I paid was $20. And I was just exiting from one state to the next. And it's just ridiculous. I couldn't fathom taking that and paying $51 every day just to get to work within an hour. And then some days are like, well, technically it would have took me 3 hours to get here. And I'm like, people commute from all over. People are doing 3 to 4 hour drives just to get to a certain area. It is crazy. And since this quarantine happened, the traffic has been bearable to go out to get essentials and stuff like that. It has been bearable. It's been like Ohio traffic. So I love the traffic here now. I'm like, I can deal with this traffic. Ohio traffic. When I went back to Ohio to visit my family, I went to Ohio, and the traffic, I'm like, everything is spaced out. I can breathe. I can drive around people. The traffic in Ohio is nothing compared to the DMV area. The traffic here is worse than LA because of how they've done the roads. And I had no freaking idea. The thing that I love about the DMV area, it is beautiful. The capital is beautiful. All the buildings are beautiful. Like Zorge, it's like this Roman Catholic elaborate place of museums and monuments and artifacts and history everywhere. And then all the museums are free. And I haven't been to any of the museums yet because the quarantine happened, but there's so many museums that you can go to. And then you can walk on the courtyards of some of the museums of the Smithsonian's. And you can go to, I went to the Martin Luther King. I guess they have a monument, a Martin Luther King monument. You can go walk, and it's near the river. It's so beautiful. The best thing to do is to visit all of the places in DC, and you can drive down by the White House, and it's just really phenomenal and uppity. Ohio doesn't have that. I mean, the art, the museums, way better than Ohio. So DC has that. Our capital is beautiful. But the part that's really sad is Ohio becomes a third world country, and the things that happen in the DC capital, there's like a bubble around the capital where it doesn't affect economics and economy and stuff like that. It doesn't affect the other states, where Ohio would have gotten hit hard by some kind of the economy with job loss. DC is not getting hit hard. The quarantine, it's not hit hard here. People are still doing their lives here and this and that. And there's like a bubble around the capital where they don't feel the pressure of things that are going on in different states, where Ohio, you would feel it. You would definitely see it. Now, to me, being here in DC, I make jokes and I call Ohio a third world country because the prices, the shopping, I go to Target here, the stuff that I get here is like 3 times more expensive than I would get in Ohio. And every time I go to Target, it's like $300, where usually if I went to Target in Ohio, I'd spend $75. The price doubles. And I'm like, I only got this little bit of stuff. Why is it so much? And it's expensive here. It is so expensive, but the pay is so good. And it doesn't balance out all the way, but the pay is so good. The minimum wage that people make here, I'm in a low income area, right? But the minimum area is anything less. You go to DC, you make anything less than that, you have to make, I think my connection's out. I don't know if my connection's still on. I think it's unstable. If you make anything less than 60, you're gonna be homeless here. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna live at all. Where you can live in Ohio, make $60,000, and you can get whatever you need to do, and you're not struggling. Here, you can't make $60,000, and then jobs don't really pay that. Everything's crazy money. It's crazy. Another thing about the Virginia area is there's like, it's overwhelming. It really, I've been here almost 6 months. The first 2 months, it was shell shocked. I was just shocked about what people paid, how people work things, and it's all modern and aesthetic and uppity, and there's trains and stuff that I had to get used to. And I'm like, I don't even know how to take the bus here. I don't even know how to take the train system, because there's certain ways you can go in and out to go places. And if you take the one run, you're going to end up in Maryland. And then the border of Maryland is so close. So you can hit downtown Maryland, everything so close within 15 to 20 minutes. If there's no traffic. If there's traffic, 2 hours. Another thing I like, I miss about Ohio, Swenson's, and I miss about the price. Everything is so much more affordable in Ohio. So much, and it's so spread out. People. There are people everywhere. There are buildings stacked on top of buildings, and stacked on top of buildings, houses, grocery stores stacked on top of buildings. Everything is like corporate franchise buildings, stack, thousands of businesses across from the Pentagon stacked on top of each other. And these high-rise apartments go all the way up, 27, 30 floors. I don't know, I'm exaggerating. But it's just people stacked on top of people, and they all share an elevator. So the quarantine virus, I was like terrified because there's so many people that you have to come in contact with. And there's so much traffic. I'm like, this thing's going to go crazy here in DC if they don't shut it down. Like, it's close to like New York. Like, seriously, how many people are there? And I'm glad my apartment, we only share a stairwell, but I don't have to share any doors with anybody. So that's the thing I don't like. baffles me because Ohio's so spaced out, and I don't understand why there's so many cases. They're so spaced out. There's so much space. There's not space here. There's not any space. People are piled on top of people on apartments in little tiny spaces. The space is so bad. There's no parking. I hate parking in DC. I hate parking here. I hate it. And if you leave by 8 o'clock and don't get home, you don't have a spot. And you have to park blocks away from the apartment. If you don't have a garage and you don't pay for parking, which is $100 a month for a little parking spot, and people will park in your parking spot, you will get towed. You will get the boot. You will get a ticket. You will get towed. They do not play with parking. They do not play with taking other people's parking spots. They don't play with you not understanding how to read the signs of where to park. You're gonna get towed, and you get towed. I'm not talking about, oh, leave it there and do it a couple times. You will get towed within 5 minutes. Someone will come and take your car. And towing. So the first month I was here, I parked in a parking spot, which was not mine, because the numbers were faded at the bottom. So it looked like a whole bunch of scratches. It didn't look like numbers. So they told me, and I had to pay $185 to tow. $185 to get my car out. And I kid you not, they towed it at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I swear I parked my car like at 11 o'clock. And I could not see, and it was raining. I could not see if there was numbers. They towed that sucker. They towed it so quick. And I had to go get it, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like Ohio, I'm like, I gotta pay to park at my apartment? What? And then if you have company that comes, they have to pay $5 per every couple of minutes to park, even a gas visit, because there's no gas visit pass. So there's not anywhere to park. And then you have to know how to parallel park here. And people have these, like, the roads are packed. Like, you can't even, people cram into these little itty bitty spots. And I'm like, how do they even get in there or get out? They're like masters of parallel parking. I don't understand. They know how to do it. And then you have to really be good at parallel parking here. And then so you wait for a long time, you roll in and get out. As soon as you get a spot, it takes 30 minutes. If you go to the mall, it might take an hour to find parking. Parking here is horrible. It's like, why even go anywhere? It's going to take me an hour to park and then get out and go to, no, for what? Oh, Ohio, I'm done. No issues with parking. Not even like in the major cities. There's not really many issues. Here is crazy. There's people everywhere. And Virginia's beautiful. They have like flowers and trees everywhere. It's really beautiful city. And there's a lot of beautiful parks here in the DMV area and bridges and lakes. Like DC is beautiful. Like it honestly is marble buildings and stones, like all the artwork. I'm like really artistic, and I want to stop and look at every single building that's been created in marble and cathedral type. But it's beautiful. And then we have the Masonic building, the George Washington Masonic building. I could see from, like, if I go down the street, I'll see the tower of it. It's beautiful. And the landscapes here are just beautiful, how they've done all the landscapes. It's very Masonic. The other thing, family, tons of family in Ohio. I miss Ohio because of family. Cost of living here is super high. I miss Ohio's easy, affordable living. There's a lot of people that just eat. Like, there's foodies here. Oh, food. Any type of food you want from any country, 5 minutes away. I can ride and I can get 20 different variations of any type of food I want to get. I love that diversity of food. And you can try whatever food you want, whatever ethnic food or whatever. I love that. I can get African food, South African food, West African food. I can get Thai food, Japanese food, Korean food, Mediterranean food, Italian food, Mexican food, Peruvian food. I can get whatever food, and it's just like a whole list of different foods. The DMV area, oh, the food is phenomenal. You're going to get fat. You will get fat here, and you can't deny the food. Like, what's that? I want to try it. What's that? I want to try it. You can order anything. So when I went to work, they had this elaborate station of all this modern food. You can get Thai food, bowls and bottles and stuff. And I'm like, what is this? And they explained to me, oh, this is seaweed. You can get this for your meal. You can get that. And I had no idea how to order from these tablets to get my customized $20 meal of exquisite tofu food. Like, I had no idea what this stuff is. I'm like, is it just give me noodles and a bowl, whatever? And it's like, no, it's tofu something. And I don't even know the name for it, but it was delicious and expensive. Everything's expensive here. Everything is on the uppity up, like posh, like so, oh, because of politicians and all that other stuff. Networking here, a lot of phenomenal, successful Black men and women, brown. I'm in a really diverse area, a lot of Latinos, successful, Ethiopian, I'm near Ethiopian area, tons of Ethiopians, many people. I haven't really met anybody. People just do their thing. I haven't really networked and met with anybody yet, and that's kind of like difficult being new and then being quarantined and then just trying to figure that out. So I can't really talk about the people here. So far, they're nice. They're not Southern at all. You have to speak multiple languages. If you don't know how to speak any other language, when you go to McDonald's or Wendy's, there's like 3 or 4 different languages: Indian, Ethiopian, Spanish is what I hear all the time. And they take the orders that way too. And so when you walk in, you'll hear 5 Russian, you'll hear 5 or 6 different languages. And that was a culture shock because I never knew DC was so diverse when you went in. Like, the capital has all these different cultures. It's like a melting pot of everything in the area I'm in. I love it. I absolutely love it. But then it's like shocking because it's like, I can't understand what you're saying and I want to make an order. And it just makes me want to pick up another language. Spanish is really prevalent here. Spanish and Indian is really prevalent here. Schools are phenomenal. The schools are diverse. The people here are super political, polished, educated. Just a totally different system of education. And for my son and my daughter, the school system is phenomenal. It's really to par, like high education. And it's really well done. They have a good system, a good education system where I'm at. I'm in Fairfax. Fairfax, for the coronavirus, has got hit hard, but not as hard as everywhere else, but it is hit. We have the most cases in Fairfax. I'm on the edge of Fairfax, so I have the less cases, which is good for now. But besides that, the other thing is, okay, so say if you did Uber, I'm going to just give a comparison. If you did Uber in Ohio, it's like $5, $5 or $6 an hour, $10. Let's say $8 if you're consistent with it with Uber Eats. Here, if you did Uber Eats, you're gonna make $20 to $25 an hour. That's how high the cost of living is. I mean, there's more people to order food, and people order food instead of cook all the time. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal about how the price of everything increases that much. The other thing is Ohio is spaced out, and that's what I love, and that's why it baffles me about how many cases. I love just driving, and there's hours of nothing but farmland. Here, buildings, people everywhere. Buildings, concrete city. I can't. It's not good for me. It's not. I need to be near the trees. I need space. I can't be around all these people. I can't be touching all these people. I just realized that coming here, I like people, but I don't want to be stacked on top of people and stuff. Virginia is very clean. There's people constantly cleaning, trimming, pruning, taking care of the land, taking care of the apartments. When people leave trash, they are very cleanly here, and I love that. Some areas in Ohio, not that much. I just don't care. Ohio looks run down, rusted, and not taken care of in certain areas. You can definitely see the effects in the economy. Here, looks like it hasn't been touched. Now, I hadn't gone to the DC side. I haven't gone over the project side, but I'm talking about the Nova side. Very nice, very pristine. Tyson's Corner is where everybody talks about the mall. Everyone go to Tyson's Corner. There's two malls. There's a mall for the regular people that can afford it, and then there's a mall for the executives, that people like CEO, boss, executive people. They go there and they shop. Like, you can only go there and look. Don't touch anything, because if you get a tie, it's going to be like $1,000. I walked in that place once, and I'm just like, they had this glass balloon, and it was like $2,000. It was a decoration piece. And I'm like, I can't even shop here. Like, why? And I just went there for the experience, for work. And they said, hey, you want to go to the rich mall? We went there, and I just noticed I can't afford anything in there, and I can't touch anything. Maybe one day I will, but why would I buy that? I'll buy like something else. The other thing about the DMV area, I have not explored that much. There's a river called the Potomac River, and you can take the scenic route. I think it's called the scenic route. I don't know, I'm just making it up, but it's the Potomac River, you know, Pocahontas, Potomac, I think that's right. John Smith, and all that. There's a Potomac River. You can go overlook it, and it's beautiful. It's like this long hill. And then if you look down the hill, you'll see the river go through, and it's like a cliff. It's beautiful. It makes you want to sing, just around the riverbed, I look once more. Sorry, Pocahontas. It makes you want to like sing songs. It is absolutely beautiful. We haven't gone on walks there yet. There's so many trails here because of the park, but there's tons of people at the park. So we're not going to do that. It's just too many people. It's too risky. We have a little trail around the corner that goes to a river. Nice. It's still packed though at certain times. People, there's not that much. There's so many people. There's so many freaking people. Like right now, cars and cars and cars are parked in that parking lot. And it is a pass. Ooh, it's too late. If I left now to go get an errand or anything, even though everything's closed, I would not get a parking spot, and I would have to park blocks away and jog my butt back here. I'd have to jog all the way back here, and it sucks. I've done that like probably 10 times, and I just decided to be home by a certain time. Jobs. Ohio, VA, jobs left and right. Phone calls every day, jobs, good paying money, good benefits, constantly, jobs. Like, even with the quarantine, with them shutting down businesses, still I get emails, jobs. Now, I'm in IT still, you know, in that career field, but jobs everywhere. Emails, well, we can work from home, work from home. Even the people in the freaking corporate government jobs, they still have their jobs. They're just rotating days. They'll work like part-time, do 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week. And there's jobs here. Like, people are hiring during the quarantine. Like, still, there's just a lot of stuff. The vocabulary here, super political, super liberal, super open-minded, and really educated. Like, a lot of people have their bachelor's and up, or master's degree and up. A lot of people have 10 years. Everywhere you go, it's a professional. Everyone is a professional engineer, professional doctor, professional of carpeting, professional. They're all professionals. I've yet to see barely, and even the people who work like at CBS and stuff like that, they still get paid really good money. Really good money. Like, the minimum wage here is way higher than Ohio's. I don't understand. But it's the capital. They take care of the capital. People are in the capital. The other thing about the DMV area is when you go to get your plates renewed, everything's shut down, but you have to pay a property tax on your car. Did not know that. It's like New York. So not only do you pay your registration, you pay a tax for your vehicle, because it is like a property tax you would pay on a house. It takes up space. So they charge you property tax on your home if you have a mortgage and on your vehicle. Like, for what? Like, Ohio? There's none of that. There's none of that. I don't even know how much it's going to be, but I'll find out when I get my plates and my tags renewed. Crazy stuff. The DMV has HOV lines. It's called HOV. HOV lines, right? These HOV lines have cameras. There's cameras everywhere because, right, remember, I'm near the freaking Capitol. So the FBI has cameras everywhere. Train stations, bus stations, they have cameras where if you are in an HOV lane, which HOV lane is like express lane, you can only go on these certain lanes if at certain times you get paid and they scan your plates and you pay to drive those lanes. If there are 3 or more people in your car, it's free during certain times. So they have cameras that can detect body heat to tell how many people are in your car, and they don't call you or anything, they just send you a bill, right? So they have body sensors to see if there's 3 or 2 or 1 person in your car. And if you don't have 3, you get a bill. That's how they detect. So if you get on the HOV lane, you go to the wrong place, they know how many people are in your car through scanning the body heat of your vehicle. It's crazy. And the tolls, I can't believe people are paying. There was a traffic jam and I looked up and it said $51.48. That's how much people were paying for the HOV lane. They pay that much. And it gives you ahead of time because the price fluctuates on traffic. So if you want to get home or get to work faster, you got to pay for it. It's like LA, New York, right? So if you go to work and you get to work and it's an hour, you leave work, it's 5 o'clock, somebody gets in a freaking accident, you're paying to get in that HOV lane to go home faster. And if they have an accident and you've already paid $51, you're just sitting there for 2 to 3 hours. That's what it is. Parking sucks. Space sucks. Rent sucks here in the area. The jobs are phenomenal. The food's phenomenal. The museums are phenomenal. There's tourists. People come from all over. I haven't experienced the tourist season yet because it was supposed to happen during the Cherry Blossom Festival, which was the whole quarantine thing happened. So that was kind of shut down, but people were still out walking around. So with that, like, I can't talk about the touristic part, but all I hear is that the traffic goes up and the traffic becomes more insane. The good news is I can drive past the Pentagon, I can drive past the White House, I can drive past the museums and monuments and look at them, and they're all wonderful to look at. Bad news is I live right next to near the Pentagon. I live near the DC Capitol, so if anything pops off, we're in the red zone. We're gone. So any type of war threats or anything like that, I just don't like. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. No, not today. Just pray, God. Just pray that no war happens. So, yeah, that's reality. That's a super reality. But surprisingly, I like it here. I just don't like the cost. I don't like the cost of living. I don't like how much I pay to live here. I don't like that. And it's just not a lot of space. Like this apartment, I can give for like maybe $700 in Ohio. Like this exact same thing, $700 in Ohio. What I'm paying for it here, right here, I can get a 5-bedroom, like mansion, like big house, like with lots of land, maybe a horse. So I'm trying to figure that out. Like, how do I make that work? I can't get over it yet. People are just used to, they just pay it. They just bend over and just, how? I don't get it. I don't understand. But besides that, that's kind of my rant on the DMV area versus Ohio. And the income here, awesome. I still love Ohio because it's my hometown, but going back there, it is actually a third world country compared to the DMV area. It's the capital, Hunger Games, totally different area. And I was shell-shocked for about 30. I'm still shell-shocked. But that's it. That's my review. Have blessings and have a great day. And thanks for your time. And thanks for listening to my rant.